Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Y'all all right? I mean, what's really going on? Thank you so much for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, and I'm excited yet again about the awesome conversation we're going to have on tonight's show. Of course, y'all already know I'm sitting in the room alongside two of my very good girlfriends. You already know some of the dopest chicks you could ever know. Sitting alongside my good girlfriend, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads, and the lovely queen who's having some technical difficulties, but she's here nonetheless. Miss Naturelle D. Y'all see her pretty picture, all right? Y'all gonna have to take that for today. Say hello to the people, Naturelle D. You've been MIA for a while.
Yes, I've been MIA, but I'm here. I'm in one piece. My laptop is still in one piece, even though I'm ready to throw it against the window. But but shout out to the people.
Welcome home, sweetheart. Welcome home. So, and for those of you who are tuning in, again, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to go ahead and acknowledge those of you who are a part of our replay audience. Thank you so much for clicking like. Thank you so much for clicking share. Thank you so much for subscribing and hitting the notification bell, especially if you're subscribing to one of our YouTube channels. Y'all already know what it is. We're building all over here, and we're building right along with you because you already know it's a tribe atmosphere, and we are growing out here in the streets, taking every zip code and area code that we have access to. I want to go ahead and familiarize you with what's going to happen on tonight's show. Of course, you're going to hear from three of the loveliest queens ever. Of course, we're going to get into that streaming conversation on Merrily Down the Stream. And of course, we're going to get into it with what's really going on. And we'll receive. Yes, that's right. I said, prepare yourself to receive yet another meaty, hefty meal in our reflection of purpose presented by our very own in-house master life coach, Queen Karen Sims. So let's get into it, ladies. Let me start with you, Miss Karen. How are you? How you
I
doing?
I'm doing all right. I am traveling. I'm on this PA side, so probably missing a little bit of my North Carolina weather this week. Although a couple of culprits, I think, started trying to bring some of that snow and sleet down to North Carolina. So, we confused amongst these zip codes. So I guess we could say global warming is alive and well, but I'm doing great. And I am running in between and through snowdrops because here where I am, it is currently snowing and just won't really stop. I don't really understand that. But I'm gonna step up my prayer life so that we could set pause on this snow for a minute because y'all already know that's why I'm not here on a permanent basis. I need the snow to go away now that we are officially just about like 1 week away from the beginning of spring.
Hey.
I'm gonna leave that alone, because I'm gonna digress off of that because it might be a soapbox that takes up our entire time. So glad to be here, but I gotta flip this around, tilted and ask, how you doing in these daylight saving streets?
Well, in these daylight saving streets, I'm doing all right. It's been a little iffy with my allergy situation because my sinuses are being assaulted. Look, Mother Nature got every last one of us, including the birds and the bees, confused with what's really going on with this climate thing out here. Um, those of you who don't know, I have some serious allergy issues. I do take medication for it every single day just so I can enjoy taking that deep inhale and releasing that exhale that is 99% of the time pollen filled because I do live in the garden state. Something is always blossoming and blooming. And I'm unfortunately extremely mold sensitive. So I get hit hard even when it rains. But if you can see over my shoulder right over here, you see that I actually have my curtains open letting the sun shine in. I actually have two new plant babies sitting back there. So I figured I'd let them, quench their thirst with that natural vitamin D that we're all looking forward to. Because like you said, Karen, spring is just about done sprung. And I'm here for it because y'all already
Here
know
for it.
I'm tropical. I'm real tropical. So yeah, I'm gonna circle back around to the recently found, no longer MIA Naturelle D. You've been in these streets, girl, and I understand you just celebrated something with your sorority sisters.
Yes. So my aunt, who is my mother's twin, just celebrated. This is her 50th year in the sorority. So she is a golden soror. And I got a chance to meet her line sisters and her Ivy Vine. And let me tell you something, these women, they might be 50 years in the game, but they wild. Okay. Now granted, I was on 2 hours of sleep and was, working my pearls over here trying to welcome everybody to the city of Philadelphia. Side note, the flower show was also happening. So the pollen hated me this week as well. Yeah, so while they was partying, I was trying to be in the corner sleep. So but yeah, so it was a wonderful weekend. It was our leadership conference. So, I had a good time, but I'm happy to be home and here with y'all because it's been a minute.
Yes, ma'am. It's good to hear from you, Donnell. We really do miss you, especially your refreshing perspective. You stay bringing it, and you already know, little sis, I'm here for all of it. So y'all already know I like to throw a monkey wrench in the system. And since I got my sisters with me on tonight, I want to ask both of you a question, give you a little time to think about it, and then of course I want your response. If there was one good piece of advice you could give your 12-year-old self, what would it be? I'm going to repeat it again because Karen got that, I'm sorry, what was that, teacher? Look on her face. What is the one piece of advice you would give your 12-year-old self? And why? I want to know why. Y'all know it's a why in Tilted Halo. I'm trying to be in your business. All right. I can't even see if D is raising the church finger, telling me she ready.
But can you feel it in your shanana? Can you feel
Do
the
I
church
feel
finger?
she got a response immediately in my shanana? Is my shanana correct on tonight, D?
Yeah, slightly.
All right, my tingle tangles is being empowered by the sunlight.
Yeah.
Go ahead, D.
I would tell my 12-year-old self, love hard and don't shrink.
Ooh.
Because 12-year-old me didn't know what was coming. As far as, so to give y'all a little background, I have lost an extremely large number of family members over the years and friends. And I would tell 12-year-old self, yeah, love hard and don't shrink.
You got me wishing I would have went first. Like,
sorry.
Look, I got the goosebumps.
I'm telling you, that's some amazing advice
That's
there.
powerful.
And you know what? I gotta step in there, Tilted, and just say, like, that's some today knowledge as well. Like,
yeah, we got to unpack what she just said. You knew I was gonna stop right there.
You just started it.
You didn't start. We stay getting started early, don't we?
Yes.
But I promise you, the way it put me on pause, I see that it put you on pause as well, Karen.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it did to someone in our listening audience. And what do you mean in telling yourself, Donnell, love hard? How
love hard in the sense that, so I'm basically a knee baby, if you will. So I clung to my family hard, but there are times looking back, I think I was hesitant sometimes on it the older I got. And so to keep loving hard, and also it's a matter of later on too, specifically college years, don't let your circumstances stop you from loving hard or loving at all. Because through the years, listen, life hit a girl hard when it came to loss. So I never, looking back, there are moments I wish I would have kept loving when hurt and pain told me don't. And then don't shrink. Well, first of all, I was a shy girl, so I was a shy baby. And so just never letting my light shrink, no matter what people said to me, thought about me, don't shrink. Because why?
I know
For what?
that's right. Because why? Exactly. You better go on and kick that science, D. Do you have anything to add to what D has shared, Karen, before I get your response? Huh?
We recognize that we diversify because some of y'all can't see my face right now, but I'm in the ugly face section right now because it's one of those things. So for those, it's going to be a little bit of a turn up, but I turned 50 last week, so thank you for those who welcome me in the club. But my 50-year-old self is saying my 12-year-old self needed to hear that, but so did my 50-year-olds. I was today years old when Naturelle D knocked me right back in my seat with just two real quick nuggets. Love hard and don't shrink. Um, that's a lot, and I take it personally. So in my mind, my answer was gonna be don't listen to the knuckleheads. Those of you who know the knuckleheads, you feel that in your shana nine, you get it. But then Natural D came in here after spending time with the what is it, the golden,
Yes,
what they,
my golden sorors.
your golden sorors, and said how they was off the hook. And one thing that I know for sure is that it's a whole bunch of things that people gonna know now that I hit my golden in my life. So I cannot imagine having that much more experience in life. That we just are at a place where we don't have the time to shrink back. Like it's not even just that it's a mantra. Because imagine if we would have had that at 12, listened to it and applied it. Y'all listen, we be more than 15 different types of problems in a good way, and good for good trouble. And it's super important for us. Thank you for the happy birthday. Ain't nobody late. All these people who saying happy belated birthday, y'all got a misconception that the party stopped. It did not.
It has not.
So ain't nobody late. I'll let you know. Probably be March 8th, 2024, but ain't nobody late. That was something. And then you done came back all deep. I don't know what to tell you about the time you done spent with the golden sorors, but seemed like they infected you in a different type of way. And child, I'll be the first to say, I'm loving it. That part.
McDonald's.
Yeah, this weekend was definitely something I didn't know I needed.
And here you are on this evening. We hate to date ourselves, but here you are on this evening giving us something that we didn't even, I could say for me, and I believe holding up the banner for my sister Tilted. But then I think she should expect these moments by now when she come at us with these questions. I think what you're showing, Natural D, is that we getting a little bit more seasoned in riding with our sister Tilted, because
Yes.
we never know whether we going deep on the deep end or whether we're gonna be fighting chickens and gorillas and orangutans. So
Orangutan.
we just never know. We don't know. So we got to, always keep that what we say, well, stay ready, so you
So
ain't got
you
to
ain't got
get
to get
ready.
ready.
This we ain't never sure which way she gonna take us, but I sure appreciate you today in that word that my 12-year-old self would have been able to do something with it. But let me tell you something about the 50-year-old me that is about to take what you said and make it not just an entire slogan or t-shirt. That is a lifestyle. That
Yes,
right
it
there.
is.
So I'm gonna pass the mic on that one right there. That's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just dropped all of the microphones. There's nothing less for us to pick up, D. There's nothing left for us to hold except for all of the wisdom you just dropped in a few short moments. And, I needed to hear that today. And you didn't even know that. So, first of all, we want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for allowing me to be the conduit for this conversation on tonight.
Yes.
That question, y'all already know it. I be getting these downloads when we start going live, so y'all already know I'm going to use it and make it work. And you definitely worked your answer to that question and blessed the entirety of my soul tonight, D. So I'm going here because yesterday I actually spoke to my uncle out in California. And I believe in a previous show, I shared that I'd spoken with him a few months ago for the first time in about 40 years. So I'm looking forward to the month of May because after 40 years of being apart, I will actually have the opportunity to lay my eyes on him and one of my cousins when they bring their sales from California all the way over here to the East Coast. I'm grateful that my uncle is alive and doing well, and he's coming back to Jersey to reconnect with his college comrades. It's the 50th year reunion for his graduation from Haverford College. Yes, I got a little piece of the Irby intelligence flowing through me. And if I must give my uncle James Irby a huge shout out tonight, this man is absolutely brilliant. And I'm blessed to call him my uncle. And I'm like a little kid on Christmas Eve, except for I got a little bit more than 30 days to wait to lay eyes on him and hug him around his neck. So I will definitely be putting your wisdom to use on tonight. I'm gonna make sure I love my uncle hard and don't shrink back when I'm in his physical presence, because I promise you that's something he always encourages me to do. Continue to let my light shine. Read something for 20 minutes every single day and make sure I continue to build legacy. Y'all already know our heart for legacy here on the show. So for those of you who are tuning in, you've tuned in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside my wonderful girlfriends, Karen Sims and Naturelle D. We are about to get into it. So I switch it up because that's what we get to do over here at the Unhinged Radio Show. I want to take this opportunity to go ahead because, I like to celebrate y'all. All right. And one thing I was thinking about today as I was considering tonight's fan out shout out, I'm so happy that every single name that I call every single week, I'm actually their fan. So I feel like I'm sitting here celebrating Anita Baker, Luther Vandross, Prince and them every single time I call one of your names. You're very important. And you matter so much to me. So tonight, I want to go ahead and give a huge super fan out shout out. Let me get my little drum roll. Tonight's super fan out shout out goes to my brother, the lyrical prophet, Bliv Mash. All right. So I don't know if y'all see my brother pop through here every once in a while. He hit like, he hit love, he'll comment, but mostly y'all see me post his videos here in the group when he's got new projects to introduce. And right now, I believe my brother is in the studio. I want to go ahead and show you some love on tonight's show, Bliv, because from the moment I met you, and had the opportunity to interview you in the early days of the Unhinged Radio Show, you have held strong. You've held to the standard with your war cry. You are a man of God. You are a very gifted hip hop artist, and you keep producing hit after hit after hit, not just musically, but you launch a spiritual assault on the kingdom of darkness every single time you take something that the secular world considers, theirs, and you flip that thing and use it for the glory of God. So tonight I want to go ahead and celebrate you, Brendan, because that's his government name. But Bliv Mash, we celebrate you tonight. You keep going. Congratulations. I saw that you recently became a grandpa. Your family is growing. Your sons are healthy and strong and prospering. And I see nothing but a hundredfold return in your future for everything you said no to, because again, your heart was fixed on giving God the glory with your gift. Baby, I can't wait to the day I get to sit in the room smiling, watching you reap a prophet's reward. So shout out to you, Bliv Mash.
Shout
We
out.
love you here at the Unhinged Radio Show. So moving right along, you got your remote control. You got your remote control.
I'm using somebody's remote control today.
All
Here we
right, use
go.
their stuff, girl. Use their stuff. Ready? It's time to point your remote control at your TV screen. Merrily, 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 merrily. Find something to stream. That's right. We getting ready to get into whatever it is we've been watching out here in these streaming streets and these movie theater streets. It is time for Merrily Down the Stream. And I promise you, I had a list of viewing to go through this past weekend, and I got it about halfway done. So of course, the hostess with the mostest knows how to yield the floor. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to you, Karen. All right. Because this one here might shut the show down again. All right.
Yes, I appreciate you passing the mic over here first. Thank you so much. You know, she's Naturelle D is in a very prolific portion of her journey this week, and so we not sure. So to keep us and stay on course, I actually did not stream on our streaming services too much this week. I think I was sharing and commenting and making sure that folks caught up with what I watched last week. But what I did do, child, what I did do, because Naturelle D, one of the things that we also share is any of the streaming services. So on my audiobook side, I was streaming on a book called Inclusify. I gotta remember the whole title of the book because I've been grabbing on it. So it's like somewhere in my bag and I gotta pull it out the bag so I know the actual thing. Because I got the hard copy and the audio. Don't ask me why I do that, but I just do. Inclusify, the power of uniqueness and belonging to build innovative teams. And so this is a book that we actually are reading at the job, but I like to listen to it audio and then I go back to the page that it was in the book and be like, wait, what that thing say there? Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing. So got my own personal bookmarks in that, but love was coming on that. And so that was one side of the book. And it really talks about how we move out of our own way to make space for others, whether they look like us, don't look like us, sound like us, don't sound like us. But building innovative teams requires for us to not only check our own selves with reflection, but also know what we're missing so that our teams will be a reflection of those missing pieces to help us build up that as we climbing up Jacob's ladder or somebody's ladder, the career ladder, all of the things, but the power of uniqueness. So love what I've been kind of consuming so far with that. And then on the flip side of that, I had went into somebody's movie theater to check out, if I was 12, Michael B. Jordan, okay, I would need to be 18, but that's a whole nother story. But to view his directorial debut, as well as his acting in boxing, and I'm sure some other things happen in Creed 3. And I suggest those that whether you follow the story, don't be a Rocky hater. Whoever you looking for, it's a little bit of everything in there. But one of the things that I really appreciated about the movie, yes, it's a boxing story. So if you like me, some of the sections your eyes was totally closed and you didn't see none of the punches land. Okay, I did not see every punch land, but I understood what was going on in the story, and I love the development and journey of watching two black men coming to terms and into their own regarding life decisions, and how that affected them and which ways it kind of comes up. And it was more than two men because it was also everybody else in their circle and everybody that they were surrounded with. And I just love the opportunity to see excellence. Of course, on this show, we celebrate black excellence, but honey, that excellence was coming from every which way. That it was something amazing to see all of the different components coming in, bringing some folks back from earlier Creed movies, and kind of sticking with the original storyline, but letting it grow and develop, and us seeing grown men. I don't know about y'all, but it's something about when a grown man is telling a story about grown men, the perspectives that we get to see. So it was real deep and rich. We saw some abs, we saw some chests out, all of that stuff.
Ooh, yes. I'm
People
sorry.
running. I got to give the people that part. I'm gonna let y'all know what y'all gonna go see. But in all of that, I love the storyline, and thumbs up to Michael B. Jordan for his work that he did on this, and even the inclusivity that they had, because they had a young girl who is an actress, and she um, has grown up in her family as being a ASL, so American Sign Language family. Her and her entire family. They talked about the role that she plays, but she did that thing. That little girl came in there and stole hearts and did all of the things. So that was, I was streaming in the movie theaters. I paid. Did I pay for the ticket? Somebody paid for that ticket, but I sure was watching every all of the screens. That's what I was
All of
watching.
it. All of it.
All of
Good
it.
stuff. Look, I had a Creed weekend myself.
All right now.
In addition to some other things I got to enjoy, but allow me to move the needle on over towards Naturelle D.
All
D.
right. All
Was
right.
you watching or listening to anything in particular?
I was, but first, Karen, I need you to drop the title of that book again in the comment section, please and thank you.
Absolutely.
And, why y'all let me catch up on Real Housewives of Potomac? Why y'all let me go
Yeah.
through that and
Yeah,
watch
I
that
saw you,
reunion?
sis. I saw you.
I don't know if we let you.
You know, so I laid the show down for a little bit, but then I heard
Mhm.
about the second part of the reunion where they talked about colorism. Now I did hear that it was not the greatest conversation, so I said to myself, let me go
Said
on ahead and stream my way through. And I got to that episode. Boy, was that conversation terrible. It, it was very lackluster. The wrong person led the conversation. They all acted like there wasn't any colorism, but then 20 minutes later, there was a comment that was steeped in colorism. So I didn't understand why they won't just say what it is when the truth of the matter is
Oh
that
Lord.
show is riddled with colorism. But one day
mm,
somebody's gonna get honest. But I at
mm.
least appreciate Andy for saying this is not my conversation to be had. Y'all
Yeah.
go ahead. I appreciated that. But yeah, I'm done with that show. I can't take it anymore.
And you're gonna be watching again this week.
Mm-hmm,
Nah, I'm good.
You good? You over it?
Nah, I'm good.
Is all the seasons done?
It's done. I'm good.
I'm gonna check on you though, because
No,
It's
because
springtime.
now I got to watch SWV and Escape. See, now
Oh,
I
there
got
it
to watch
is.
That's
that.
true. We gotta keep the lines open because and I'm struggling with whether I want to watch right away. I don't know. Like do I want it to develop some and hear what the streets be talking before I press what? Oh,
Streets is
watch
already
it.
talking.
You want to watch
The
that,
streets
sis.
is
You want to go
see.
ahead.
I be
Streets
late.
is talking.
Okay, all right.
And
I
then
mean,
it's only 2 episodes, so you good. But the first episode was action packed. Oh, I guess I'm letting y'all know one of the things I watched this weekend, eh?
Well,
And I
I
actually
can
have to
turn the
catch
mic to
up
you,
on
so go
episode
ahead.
2. What was
well,
that?
I said I could turn the mic to you then, so go ahead.
So I just
Yeah.
want to say one thing before we get into that portion of it. I want to say that I do commend Andy for passing the mic on. This ain't my conversation, and he been out here in these streets far too long to not let some wisdom hit him when the black women speak. Like y'all got that, y'all gonna do that. So shout out to Andy for saying. I'm not coming here for none of this smoke and passing the mic to somebody else. So now we go from smoke to smoke. We got SWV. You like that segue? See, we do our thing
SWV
sometimes.
is out here representing with Escape to well-known girl groups that did their thing in the 90s, early 2000s, and we still groove into a lot of their music. So we get to see a lot of the behind the scenes action, and it's reality-esque, of course. There's drama. We get to see it all leading up to their reunion tour, I believe it was last year. So yeah, I'm actually enjoying that. You already heard me share that I had a whole Creed weekend because I didn't want nobody to really find out that I had never really sat down and watched all the Creeds. So I was like, let me go on and catch up because that's who I'm is. I too enjoyed watching Michael B. Jordan do his thing on screen. And I especially love how he bulked up the way he had in Creed 2 when he, had to go with young Drago and do what he had to do. I was really appreciating all of the training he put himself through for that. It was nice. And but really, here's the piece de resistance for my viewing this past weekend. Child, I watched Cocaine Bear. Lord have mercy.
Lord, we can't.
I was all up on the Cocaine Bear. I was 2 weeks late, actually. But I was like, because I've been waiting for this movie to hit the theaters since December. All right. So for those of you who haven't heard of it, I am not playing right now. There really is a movie out there called Cocaine Bear, and it's loosely based on a true story. We got the cartel dropping a load of drugs off a pickup somewhere out in the great unknown where something happens. And them bricks fall to the paws of this big black furry bear who clearly develops an immediate cocaine addiction. And starts, ripping people apart limb by limb. Of course, it was, again, loosely based on a true story. The cocaine drop in the woods happened. But the whole storyline, all 4 of them that they built around the bear being on cocaine, child, some of the most outlandish foolishness I have seen in my life. So I was really enjoying myself and the chuckles that this movie gave me. Again, the bear did quite a few bricks and developed an instant cocaine habit. Huh?
Not quite a few.
Girl, I would listen. If you into that sticky type thing like I am, go on and watch the movie and then you're gonna see what I'm talking about. Okay. And this actually started really getting good because 2 kids cut school and was trying to walk to the secret treasure spot in the woods. Mama done found out and gonna go search after her baby because that's her baby. And she want to make sure she's safe. All kind of stuff happened. They encounter this bear while they out there, while she out there trying to find her child. And at the end of the movie, of course, she finds the children, her daughter. She has the children. And we're also introduced to two little cocaine cubs because for somehow or another, Mama Bear gave her baby some cocaine too, like it was some Similac or something, I guess.
I can't.
Child, listen, Cocaine Bear. It's in theaters right now. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Who would have thought we'd come out of quarantine and this is what we
This is
watching in the theaters?
This is
I was, I'm still surrounded by young people. Okay, my early 20s, my mid 20s, and listening to their conversation and trying to be a support to them. So we had a whole plan to go together and watch this movie together. So I got to see the Cocaine Bear and had some of the best chuckles of my life because y'all know I'm stone cold fool. And if it's got comedy of any way, shape, or form, I'm watching it. And I'll give you my review later. But yeah, Hollywood clearly is bored and can only remake the remake so many times before they turn it into a movie and we all get nauseous. A musical, I'm sorry, and we all get nauseous. So, Hollywood gonna have to do a little bit better, but we can get into that a little bit further into the tonight's show. That's it for Merrily Down the Stream. We get ready to get into what's really going on. But check it out. Look, Naturelle D done came back all brand new.
Huh?
You heard me.
What I do?
I see your little bubble attitude blinking. Listen, I need you to start off tune tonight. Well, whatever your sha-na-na leads you to do with it, we're going to add to it, T. Go ahead.
Lord.
la 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 la.
Listen, because this soprano done been a little janky.
Girl, do it in your contralto, whatever.
Oh, Lord. All right. I guess the people want to hear it.
Yeah, here you go.
What's really going on? What's really going on? What's really going on?
What's really
going on?
What's really
going?
What's really going on?
Really going?
What's really going on?
What?
We had
Listen.
3 layers going there.
Listen.
I might mess around and record y'all one night, but actually I am recording you. You never know. All right, so we got to get into it. It's that segment, y'all. We're about to talk about a few things because some things that happened this week that got on my ever-loving nerves. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you run this portion because you had said something when I had asked what you want to talk about tonight, Karen. So I'm gonna toss the mic to you.
Okay. A couple of things because in the past years, a lot of the accomplishments of movies, of so many different cinematic wonders have come across when it comes to the Oscars. But we've often heard the term Oscar so white in past years. And it's interesting because I think every year the Oscars kind of struggles with how can they bring forth diversity. Not really sure, y'all know I do this all day. So even in our entertainment, we're looking for ways to diversify and see how people kind of are on the come up. And so, when asked the question of what's really going on, we had a couple of things that we could talk about. And the Oscars So White gave us an opportunity, I think, on a couple of different ways, because for those of you who have not known, didn't know, every year there are a plethora of fans that come together and it's like, okay, who's going to win the coveted awards for whether it's best supporting, best actor, best actress, best movie, all of the different things. And it's interesting because every year it's always a challenge on who's even gonna get nominated? Like, who all gonna be nominated over there? But we got the chance this past weekend. I ain't gonna say we blame nobody, but we just gonna say that some of these award shows ain't never gonna be the same as they were post last year. And so, as we mentioned but not mentioned, one of the names that came up for Best Supporting Actress was, of course, none other than Angela Bassett. And I promise you, if you're in our listen audience and don't know who Angela Bassett is, one, you don't listen to nothing that we stream. You don't watch what we watch. Yes, we can still be friends, but we may need an intervention because the body of work that this woman carries with her is so extensive. From roles like Tina Turner to the mother of all Wakandans everywhere, as Queen Mother, and her role that she played in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was absolutely iconic. Whether you like the movie or not, you cannot discredit the fact that Angela came through and made you be like, yes, that she's the one. But so many more accolades as you could think about. A awesome mother, a beautiful wife, a supportive actor as it comes to Black excellence, and what all comes along with that. And so we hear a lot of different things, and sometimes the challenge for us is that maybe the stories are only one-sided, or you don't know who else Angela Bassett is kind of in competition with, so to speak, because she's not in competition with nobody, but who do people put her in competition with is the actual statement. And so, she didn't win any Oscars on this past weekend, and I'm not going to say that we feel any type of way about it, but I definitely wanted us to take the opportunity, and I'm going to share the mic to hear if my co-host tonight want to highlight some of the other actors that were celebrated on the Oscars this weekend, as well as weigh in on their thought for Angela's stellar performance.
I'm go then. All right. I
Okay, all
wasn't
right.
looking for none of them. Okay. Let's just go there. Because wow, it's been a long time since I've actually sat down and watched the Oscars. I'm more interested in what's been nominated so I could watch it to understand why it was nominated. So my commentary tonight is just going to be celebrating Queen Angela Bassett, who, again, stellar. Oh,
Yes.
absolutely stellar, incomparable. And for her to have the longevity that she has had in Hollywood speaks volumes about the woman she is. Her integrity, her character. Not for nothing, her integrity is evident in them guns in her mug.
Well,
She be working it out with her trainer. When we don't see her, clearly she stay ready, so she ain't got to get ready.
mhm.
Again, I made note as I was preparing my heart to celebrate Angela Bassett. First thing I want to celebrate is she has been married to her husband, Courtney
Yes.
B. Vance.
Yes.
Who I don't want to say the number of years, but I'm gonna tell you this: I believe their marriage is basically outlast the Energizer battery. How about
Come
that?
on now. Come on.
Yeah, they're truly an example. So many people like to say relationship goals, and they like to look at people dripping with chains and gold teeth and driving certain cars that they can't necessarily keep because they got to return them after the video shoot. But check it out,
Ooh. Mm.
Courtney. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, Courtney and Angela, definitely couples goals in the way that they support one another.
Yes.
Courtney is an outstanding actor himself. Many of y'all might remember him. Lovecraft Country, was it? Most recently. But I can imagine he is definitely her biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
Again, as I was preparing my heart to celebrate Queen Angela on tonight, I noticed that she's received 117 nominations for her acting.
Wow.
whatever she's bringing to the screen. She's been nominated 117 times and has won 54 of those awards.
Mm.
So yes, she's often celebrated and of course never duplicated. I don't think anybody could have done Tina Turner justice, but Queen Angela Bassett. But again, as you mentioned before, Karen, her body of work is extensive. All right. So I was going through my mind's eye. The other day I was having a conversation with a friend and I was trying to tell him, I said, listen, all the Hollywood greats have that one movie that wasn't necessarily putting best acting on display. They got to lay back, get a little comedic, a little strange, a little bit. Halle Berry did it with Babs, right? And for me, one of my favorite Angela Bassett appearances is actually Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy.
I knew you was gonna say
you knew I was gonna go there.
I knew
it. She played that part. She played that part. We didn't necessarily picture her playing a part like that, but she did that thing. And not for nothing, so did Eddie Murphy with them wigs that had him rocking that Eddie Munster something serious. But of course, that was an awesome love story. Those of you who are Angela Bassett fans, like we are here at the Unhinged Radio Show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We've seen her light up both the big screen and the small screen as well. Sis is everywhere she could possibly show up, and I am not mad at her. So that's my ode to celebrate, Queen Angela Bassett. I'm about to pull a whole Kanye West. You know how he had did Taylor Swift when she won that award. What he do? Beyonce's. Oh. So they gave that award to Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. Angela Bassett. In my opinion.
And y'all know we love Jamie.
We love Jamie. Shout out to Jamie. Her doing the Halloween movies forever.
We love her. Freaky Friday, all of that. We love her.
A Fish Called Wanda. Yeah, we love you, but Angela Bassett, man.
In this moment, that poor.
Because remember, we told you on a couple shows ago, actually, we blackity black, 365, 24/7. And I told you, y'all gonna get this afro for the rest of the year. Don't know if it's gonna be pulled back, twisted out, or just straight fro. But y'all gonna get this blackness all year long. D.
So I think what really makes me the most upset is the fact that she's only been nominated twice for an Academy Award. And I just looked up the fact that this is Jamie Lee Curtis's first nomination. And she won. For a movie I did not see and quite frankly don't care, because I knew these categories were a load of crap when Homegirl won for La La Land, and I saw that movie and I didn't understand how she won, but her male counterpart didn't, and he deserved that award that year. So yeah, Angela, we gonna give her flowers because they are absolutely due, and she is all over these streets, and I don't understand. I just don't understand what needs to be done. It almost makes you feel like, did y'all give your quota of awards to Black women in the last 10 years? Is that what happened? The quota got filled in 10 years. I don't understand, and I don't understand how this is her first nomination for playing Queen Ramonda. Like, it just boggles my mind, and just proved why I wasn't checking for this awards show this year at all. But other than that, shout out to the red carpet. Specifically
red carpet.
to the fountain of youth of every Black person that walked that carpet, because I was trying to understand where are these ages and where did they go, and they need to share the fountain of youth to the masses. So
Water and vegetables. They drinking their
right,
water and they eating their vegetables because they looking like the new 29 again and again and again.
right. But yeah,
Hmm.
shout out to Angela Bassett. We love her.
We do,
Shout
we
out to
do,
Angela. We yes, we celebrate you, Queen,
we do
this and every single day.
every
Yes,
single day.
every single day.
Yeah,
So check it out. You
appreciate
know I got
all of the work she's done and is doing.
yeah, because
Several
again,
checks, several
because
checks.
it's a little girl watching her taking notes, ready
Come
to
on.
step in.
Facts.
Yep, yep. So check it out. You know I gotta go there because I've been watching these internet streets and there's a whole conversation going on right now. Certain you all have seen the picture with Sierra standing alongside her husband, Russell. The, yeah, yeah, with her dress on.
What
She put a
dress?
dress. Girl, girl, she had went to see the same seamstress that did the clothes for the emperor in Emperor's New Clothes. I promise
Oh,
you
Ah!
that had to be it. But yeah, clearly you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who've been stuck behind a computer screen, under a rock, in a cave, listen. Sierra is out here with this dress on, and she's posed up with her husband, and she looks totally nude. The dress presents as some type of fishnet style type thing, and you see all of her wonderful curves. She is a beautiful body. We already know Sierra is into her physical fitness. She is the mother of what, two? Looking like that?
mhm,
Yes.
Three.
mhm, mhm.
Mother
But
of
of
three.
course, I'm sorry.
Mother of three.
It's three. Lord, I missed one of them. Shout out to the pandemic. Them years sped by. But yeah, she out here with this dress on, and her husband is standing next to her, posed up for the photographers. Um, and again, his wife out here looking naked. And of course, I'm reading the comments and the different conversations about this. I figured, why not talk to my beautiful sisters? Because we body positive over here. We love our curves, we love our slim thickness, we love it all over here. But I really want to get your thoughts, ladies, on how she presented herself. Um, from what I came, a little bit of the information, because I really didn't dig into this too deep. But from what I ran across some information that says she was wearing that for a Vogue event where most of the styling was supposed to have that nude effect. Um, but again, in this picture, Russell didn't look too comfortable. Um, D, you got anything to say about our sister Sierra and her near nakedness?
I just want to know, when is this trend going to end? Because I mean, Cardi B was fully clothed and was giving the people what needed to be gave. Sierra, ma'am, this is not the VMAs. This is not the Grammys. I would accept that at an award show where she's actually in the industry. This is not your industry. This is not your event. Unless you're performing, even still, this isn't your event. And it just wasn't it didn't give at all. Even though, I don't know, all these magazines say it's giving what it needs to be gave, and I'm like, well, I'm a little tired of this personally. It just wonderful. We see you all day, every day on the gram, sis. this this
Okay,
was this was a time to let those shine where this is their industry. Let's not.
let's not. All right, all right. I hear you, D. I hear you.
I'm ready.
Karen,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready
Karen,
to
I see
weigh
the
in.
tone of voice
Listen,
on your face. Go ahead.
listen. Thankfully, we record in both audio and video. But here's the challenge for me, and we are body positive here, and we also try to be as judgment free as we can. So here, what I'm gonna say, little sister, you don't have to. You don't have to. Maybe somebody does. They need the gimmick. They need the extra. You
Right.
are talented and gorgeous and beautiful, and you have a man and family who it's up to you how you come through and show what we might consider respect. That's not up for conversation here. However, it happens, whether Russell was smiling or not, um, there's a different set of, do I call them rules? I appreciate Naturel's D's statement for, if this was her industry, if these was her peeps, like these are the people who you want to pay attention to you for perhaps a movie role, for perhaps something else that's going to celebrate your come up, but you already there. Like this, you don't need it. You could definitely show off your toneness without being naked. I don't know, because I don't know too many men that would be okay with that. Yeah, I'm gonna stand next to you because I have to. That, when we out here in these streets, they're a brand now. So whether Russell agreed with the outfit or not, or it got sprung on him as they both getting out or getting into the car, they're a brand. So now what you do represents me, and what I do represents you. And there are certain times where you gotta come through with this extra, and you gotta be risque, and you gotta push the envelope. But Cece, you don't have to. So if you don't have to, I just question the why, and not in a judgmental way. It's sort of like, I want to hear to understand. So if it was a movie, if it was something else, is that the portrayal um that we want to say, that I'm doing all of this stuff here? I'm bringing the real talent. Like, I could sing with no extra tunes behind me. I can dance without the dancers behind me, but then I need to do this. So the same way that we said, there's a little girl who looks at Angela Bassett and says, wow, like, this is something I can do. Sis, somebody's daughter, somebody's son, somebody's them, they, and everybody have
Mm-hmm.
now seen this, and this is a part of their recorded thing of, well, I must have to do this to be successful. And that's how I qualify saying, but you don't have to, because you have real talent, you got real beauty, you got to work it out. Like, you bomb. We knew you was bomb before you came out there with your booty hanging. Like, what? I don't know,
Right.
to be, I did thoughts and prayers. That's all I can say. And I think one of the challenges, of course, because the church folk losing their mind,
Right.
because Russell,
Right.
the poster child for the missionary Baptist, Pentecostal, free will, online and in the internet. Listen, okay, they holding up all of the banners with Russell name on it, and then here we go, where I feel sorry for the bashing that she has to go through because of these choices. But you got talent, girl. That's my entire statement.
That's
Can I
it.
add to that?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can.
So you made me realize it's as if the church has now said, well, since we ain't gotta make it good no more, come on, Sierra.
Right?
Come on. We don't give Beyonce the business. So now, Sierra, it's your turn.
It's
Because
her
yeah,
turn.
because
Mm-hmm.
y'all were the poster board for, church culture or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, the prayer what's the prayer that Sierra prayed to
For
get,
her husband.
for her
Yeah.
husband, all that.
Yeah.
Which meanwhile, that has nothing to do with this conversation. The conversation really is, in my mind, the conversation is, this is not your industry. And everybody else in your respective industry came understanding this is not my industry.
Mm.
Agreed.
Yeah, yeah. Again, shout out to all the body positivity. I'm here for all of it. However, for me personally, I'm conservative. Always have been. Even when I'm out here being fly. If you were to peruse my Facebook pictures, you're gonna get some shoulder action, but I ain't never gonna give you no cleavage because that's not your business. And I developed that mindset. I believe because I was always aware that I am a mother to
Yeah.
two young women,
Mm-hmm.
and I took the responsibility of being their first teacher very serious. I taught them to love their bodies, embrace every single curve, dip, lift, everything God blessed you with. Love it, daughters. But I held the responsibility of showing you what classy, not trashy, looks like when I walk out the door. Your jeans could fit. I likes my jeans to fit well, but because my jeans is rocking right, I rock it out with a cute top that ain't necessarily showing my midriff. It could come down and lay lovely on the other curves my body has going on. And it doesn't even have to be skin tight for my beauty to outshine. I always say, these clothes are wearing me. I'm not wearing these clothes. So I'm with you, Karen, in what you said, sis. You don't have to. That's something that I taught my daughters. Again, they got body for days. Y'all know. Sis, you don't have to. Get them with what's in here. Because what's up here, Lord willing, it's going to remain. But with the rest of all of this, unless you got Angela Bassett money, Russell Wilson and Sierra money to keep paying all of these personal trainers, honey, gravity is going to win and everything is going to be like bass and drop. Okay? It's going to be like bass and drop. So we encourage you to love it. But again, somebody is watching you. And here we are in the social media age where we get news reported on Facebook, Twitter, Snap, TikTok, all of these social media outlets. We're getting information there faster than we are the American media outlets that we all watch on a day-to-day basis. People gonna say what they're gonna say, and even though they, what they're saying may not be right, they done seized the right to say something, whether you like it or not. So I pray. What was it? Which one of y'all offered thoughts and prayers? Was that you, Karen?
That was me.
Yeah, we offering thoughts and prayers for our sister who is so talented and so beautiful as she continues to mature. That body gonna rock out in something that ain't ultra sheer.
No matter what. Yep.
Again, stay in the industry. But I would ask you to consider, Sierra, that you somebody mama. You somebody mama. And am I the only one who had the experience of having to pop somebody in the mouth on the playground as a child because they said something to the left about my mama? Is it just me? Oh, I'm sorry. I be having
still could get it. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. It could still be whatever, Karen.
Child, listen.
But you don't necessarily want to have to show up at the school, pick the child up out the principal's office because they done got up trying to defend you. Yeah, it happens every single day, Karen. I'm sure you can attest to this, working in education as long as you have, and my body of experience in education as well. Baby, these kids be fighting to defend their parents. More often than not.
Yeah.
Because little Jack or Jeffrey done said something that they didn't appreciate. Boom. Next thing you know, they catching hands and you getting a phone call and you got to leave your job and maybe even lose some pay. Because again, your behavior led your child to feel like he had to defend you when it is your assignment to be the protector and covering of the children, of the child.
Yeah.
When they are here. So let's make smart choices. Men too.
Yeah.
All right, because y'all, it's gray sweats and gray shorts and all that. What the zaddy shorts? What? The men is out here thotting it up too. Let's don't ever get it twisted. All right.
Equal opportunity.
There's equal opportunity. So please, ma'am, please, sir, remember that those little eyes are watching you. Those little ears are hearing you. And again, you don't want them, especially in this new world that we in right now. You don't want them out there having to get caught up because they actually may not make it home. Let's just get to the truth of that matter. All right. So move this right along. Because I'm ready for this one. Because I done seen and somebody tried to comfort me in one of these chat rooms. Yep, that's right. Child, the banks is collapsing all around us as if it was a straight earthquake. We got to talk about this thing right here.
Banks falling.
and
We fall down.
We gonna
you
need
better hope they get
giveaway
back
every
up with these people
weekend.
money.
Ooh.
You better hope they get back up with these people money, because this thing, I could research this nonstop. I can imagine for like a month and still have many, oh my gosh, moments as I run up on information. But we recently heard about the first bank, the Silicon Valley Bank, that has multiple branches throughout the Western Hemisphere of the United States. Did I say the hemisphere? That was the wrong word. But anyway, y'all know how I do.
Same
Silicon
thing.
Valley Bank just was shut down. All right. Come on over here to the East Coast, Signature Bank, same situation. What's really going on? As I was perusing the internet, trying to understand how this is going to affect not only the American economy, but the global economy at large.
Yeah.
Baby, it's some information and it's some things going on. So the first term I came across was, oh, it's a bank run. This is a bank run. And I'm like, a bank run? When I say I'm running to the bank, that just simply means that I'm gonna go to the drive up ATM, pull out $40, $60 pocket change, and then get up.
Fast cash.
But these people, they got bank run is something different. All right. Bank run is when they all go and make large withdrawals, right? And if you understand how the banking system works, a lot of the money that they're holding on to for you is interest bearing, and you don't even know it. And that interest is what makes them, or gives them, the ability to continue to give out different loans and things like that for other people who are continuing to do business, continuing to grow business. So yeah, all these people heard something on the financial wire where they decided, hey, let me go and get my money out this bank. So what was left in the bank could no longer be backed by the financial institution. So of course, regulatory commission came in, shut things down, because what the trickle down effect that could occur as a result of these two financial institutions shutting down. We also heard some recent conversation about Bank of America having quite a few of their customers, have money just come up missing and be unaccounted for, and yet not being returned as of this conversation. To have your money in a bank that's FDIC insured, many of you have learned, if you didn't know it before today, you now know they only insuring you for $250,000 of your deposit. So if you got millions and quadrillions of dollars in that one financial institution, I would advise you to diversify. But allow me to jump up off that conversation, because I do not hold a degree in finance management. I'm just sharing with y'all what I've learned along the way as I try and diversify where I keep my money. Yes, I don't have just one bank account in one bank.
That part.
And I hope many of you are learning the lesson in it here. Not only you, and I actually I'm doing better with trying to keep cash on hand, because when we launched into the digital chip era, it became extremely convenient during the pandemic to just tap my card and go. I didn't have to worry about no coronavirus germs on my 5s and 10s. All I had to do was disinfect my own card, tap it, put it back, disinfect it, put it back in my wallet. So now we see the world facing yet another global financial crisis as a result of these two financial institutions shutting down or being shut down the way they were. And I saw a lot of talk of the Depressionary era. And will we be revisiting times like those as a result of what's going on in the financial world right now? Karen, I see you looking at me again in that tone of voice. What you got to say, sis?
This may be one of the only times that we'll ever say that it might be all right if you on the broke side of the mountain.
Ooh,
I'm just gonna say it out there. You know why? Um, because if you got small money, this gonna be a problem, but it ain't gonna be as big a problem as some of our billionaires and trillionaires and millionaires, because they like, oh look, that means you only covering a portion of my money. And as Tilted, you've already alluded to, many of us need to diversify. But I thought it very important because a lot of times, many of us are participating with financial institutions that are federal credit unions or different things, and every banking institution has a different operating procedure. And so I thought it quite interesting that today, I think I got the email today for one of the financial institutions that I bank with, that they wanted to let me know that they weren't playing with my money. Like literally, it was like, listen, we
we
know
got
that
you.
these people been out here in these streets and they doing some strange situations, but we want to attest and affirm that we are not participating in that type of activity that will put your cash in jeopardy. Okay, now listen, I was paying attention, but in your mind, you thinking, okay, well, I don't bank with neither one of them, so that ain't got nothing to do with me. And then you hear maybe some of our more popular name brands, and it's like, well, I ain't got no account over there either, so I'm safe. But here's where we got to be careful. One, it's okay that you ain't got 250,000. We bless the Lord for the money that's gonna come after they get this right. That part, okay. So some of us, we're gonna speak prophetically in this moment and say the money couldn't come earlier, because if they would have messed with your money now, you be out here trying to catch a case. Okay, I'm talking about me. But as we on the come up, we realize that diversification is necessary, that we should be reading the terms and conditions that we scroll past when when they give us the paper sign here saying you got this copy of these terms and conditions, but some of us don't read all of the things that's in the terms and condition. The other thing is that even though people are saying like, okay, well, this might lead us to a depression, and honey, we've been here before and we got on the other side. You know why? Because one of the challenges is very interesting, how the government responds to banking situations. Okay, many of our banks have experienced the bailout when they say, well, we ain't got no money to cover this. All of a sudden, we had money from the government to help those banks stay in big business. Why? Because banking is big business, as our illustrious and wise sister. So we ain't gonna let Tilty disqualify herself. She not your CPA. She may not be a financial advisor, but she know what 2 plus 2 dollars mean when it goes to the other side. So that's super important for us to think about that. On the other side of that is what happens when that money is not showing up in the account. So we got crypto, we got oh my goodness, it's so many different places that people were banking on, trying to put money somewhere. It's almost like, for those of y'all who grew up in the hood, I'm gonna go somewhere right now. We used to call it flipping money, and sometimes it was legal, sometimes it wasn't. Maybe you flipped the food stamps, maybe you flipped some of that cocaine bed. I don't know what it is, but honey, when banks start flipping money, this is a different type of situation,
Mm-hmm.
because it technically is legal. It technically is legal for them to do that. But is it an ethical or right business practice for them to? Nah, it ain't. And so it shouldn't even be that. Like, that shouldn't even be part of the conversation. But here we are. And I said this as a joke, and somebody wanted to educate me. I said, our mattresses are looking pretty nice right now. And I was joking. I was joking. They were like, well, that's just not a good for that. I need y'all to take care of your money. Why we call this a joke? Okay, this
Yeah.
is a joke.
Ha
Ain't,
ha.
ain't no
PP.
ain't no money under my mattress, but if it is, you may have to be introduced to my good friend Susie May. That part. Now, if y'all ain't heard about Susie May in a while, because we've been chill over here. But if Susie May, if you come looking for what's under my mattress, you gonna meet Susie May, and you ain't gonna have to worry about no $250,000 being insured by the federal government. That's a whole nother story. We love everyone. I promise we do. I don't know what to say about the banks, but I know that these are the moments where we have to tap into That whole whose report will we believe? We got to be wise. But if I know that God is taking care of me, like I'm seeing this, like I'm going back to that Marlon's way. God loves me. Because if I would have had $250,000 in the bank and child,
All on the news. All on the news, girl. All on the
Mm-hmm.
news.
God
Mhm.
loves me. That's my new line. Anytime God loves me, I know that's a thing. Naturelle D, I don't want to get into nobody financial business or ask, is all your money secure? But did this cause you to think about your financial situations any differently with any current relationships you have with the banks around you?
Nope, because I got out of Dodge about a year ago. Okay.
Boop, boop, boop.
Because who you have in your ear
That
will
Yeah.
part.
determine your year.
Come through. Come through.
You better say so.
So,
Come through.
my pastor already let me know. Get on out of this bank and this bank and this bank.
That
Amen. Thank
part.
you.
That
Because
part.
my tingle tangles was already on edge about said bank. And I got out. So I'm good. But
I
also,
love it.
he also encouraged us because, as you're speaking those things that be not as though they
Come
are,
through.
they're not gonna come to you unless you know how to handle it. So I need y'all to at least Google where do billionaires have their money, and I guarantee you it ain't in none of these banks that's crumbling.
I'll be right back.
So understand, it's time for for those of us who may not be of the millions and billions to understand where the money is and see where I need to put my money.
Mm,
Yeah, because it's
mm.
real ghetto out here in these financial streets.
Come
Girl,
on. How about that? Like,
great
but
hood.
that would have never been a line we thought that we would be able to be using.
Right.
But computer over there?
It is straight
It
hood
is.
out here, girl. And at the end of the day, 2023, we trying to go where the money reside. So we again are remaining mindful of where it is that we are sheltering our hard-earned dollar bills as we're out here navigating in these financial streets. And y'all know, as I was allowing my fingers to do the walk and looking into this situation, one thing I noticed that was common with both of these particular institutions is the amount of crypto earnings that
Hmm.
they actually had at these institutions. And we already know what's happened recently in the crypto world. FX shut down, found her, court charges, all kinds of stuff. He was actually on the run at one point,
On the run.
straight up. So it's like, look, I know a lot of people profited greatly off of the crypto investments that they got into during the pandemic shutdown. But there was talk even then about regulating how cryptocurrency is moved globally. I know a lot of people were hesitant to even deal with cryptocurrency because they had the mindset that only criminals use crypto. So now, we saw maybe, just maybe, they may have been correct. Again, Mr. FX himself was on the run. They had to go apprehend him from a whole nother country and bring him back so he could be dealt with, and they could find out what happened to the money. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong, he ain't got no more money either, right?
Oh no, his money gone.
His money is gone. So again, a lot of this the money being housed, a lot of tech startups, a lot of legal companies, real estate companies had accounts in these institutions. It's scary times, y'all. I believe one of the commentators I listened to was sharing how when a system is being rebuilt, it has to be torn down again, torn down in order to be rebuilt. And we like to go into the prophetic flow here on the show every now and again. We've long heard that cryptocurrency was going to be the wave of the future. And a lot of information has been circulated over the last few years about cryptocurrency. People pay attention. We've been prepared for something during this time. And don't ever think it's happenstance that you have a chip on your ATM debit card. They've been preparing us for a long time. And those of you who pay attention to the conversations in these financial streets, there's long since been a conversation about the United States in particular getting rid of the tangible money. To take us straight into a cryptocurrency type environment. Y'all don't think that the United States ain't already working on their coin? So what we got, Dogecoin and a whole lot of other coins out there. So imagine the USA coin. All right. So check it out. If you were given the opportunity to name the USA coin, what would you call it? I'm gonna give you a few moments to think because that one just dropped. If you were given the opportunity to name the US cryptocurrency, what would you call it?
Reparations.
Ah!
I'm gonna second that one. Yeah.
I know that's right. The reparations. All right. So what would be its symbol on the forex market? What would be the symbol you would use for reparations? Would it be REP? Rep. That makes sense.
With an afro around it, with a pick in it.
Girl. A pick on the P, to the side.
Yes.
And the pick gotta have the afros with the P sign and the fist on.
The original one.
That's
Absolutely.
right. It's called rep. All right, that's D's US cryptocurrency rep. What would you name it, Karen?
I'm seconding what was already said. I totally agree with it, and I'm here. I would like to keep the eagle symbol with it, with the pick. So it might be the reparations would be the eagle grabbing the pick in his mouth or in his claws and carrying it away. But I'm
like
here
the
for
snake.
the REP. Yeah, well, yes, but we carrying it to higher ground though. That's what we.
I'm visualizing this as you're
Yeah.
describing it.
Yeah.
All right, and
I'm here for the REP though. I like.
I'm here for the REP too. I think I like that rep thing, D. We gonna stick with the rep, and I like your how I was able to visualize your design with the eagle carrying the pick.
Mm-hmm.
But can I just ask that in one claw he have a pick, and in the other he has a book. Yes, preferably the Holy Bible. I ain't got a whole lot of time to get into that, but y'all know why I said it. We need a pick in the Bible, in our rep. All right, now we done made our black cryptocurrency, and I know y'all wondering why is she throwing the Bible in there? Why? Because we need guidance on how to utilize our rep when we get it. And from what I learned in that Bible was in all thy getting, get an understanding, and that we're, so there's a whole lot of financial tips in the pages
Bible
of that
we
book.
putting in that though?
Well, we could put the Ethiopian Bible in there because since it's the African American represented currency, it could be the Ethiopian Bible, and it's going to be real clear on the cover.
Okay, because in my mind, I was like, well, if it's just the regular Bible, is the claw like on the outside just gripping it or like piercing the Bible? Because
now Ethiopian Bible is going to be held at a certain angle where you could see that it say Ethiopian
safely. Okay, yes. Okay, I'm with you.
We ain't puncturing the cover. with no claws, none of that.
Right.
He gonna have a nice eagle cure for his photo op for the rep currency.
Okay.
All right, it's gonna be the
I'm with it.
Ethiopian Bible and
I'm
the
with it.
pick, and the eagle is gonna be full spread soaring to higher
I'm with it.
heights, as Karen said. It's gonna be, Karen, you good?
Listen.
I mean, because they shall run and not be weary.
That part.
Hey,
And I love it that the people get to see how we produce in a creative, not just mindset, but this is a vault right here. So they get to see how we create now. Tell the US Treasury, come on over here so we can have some conversations in the FEC and all of the other letters that we could in SEC so that we could get this going.
yeah. So yeah, I'm looking
In
forward
10
to rep.
minutes or less. I'm just saying, in 10 minutes
Yeah,
or less.
we did that just now. Rep is gonna be the new cryptocurrency of the African American nation. Power to the people. Power to the people. So
I'm with it.
yes, thank you all for tuning in to the Unhinged Radio Show Live. I'm your host, Tilted Halo, sitting alongside two of the dopest chicks I know, my good girlfriend Karen Sims of Twisted Threads LLC, and the lovely queen herself. We missed you, girl. We so happy you back. Naturelle D. I'm going to go ahead and move the show right on into my favorite segment. I know everything else looks like I'm having so much fun, but I enjoy every single opportunity I can, glean from the field of wisdom that comes from my sister, Karen Sims of Twisted Threads LLC. It's time, y'all, for yet another reflection of purpose. Karen, take it away.
All right, I'm here with your reflections of purpose. You all know that I always come with a title, and today's title is Clear the Runway. Clear the Runway. We got a lot of things that are going on, but I'm so inspired by my sister Naturelle D and all of the pouring into that she had. But there had to be some clearing of the runway. That meant that you made space for and time for focus to be on you, and not on you in an egotistical way, not on you in a move out the way type of way, but in a way of saying, I need this moment in time. I need this pouring into, I need this encouragement. That means you got to clear the way so that other things don't distract you. Clear the way so that your mind doesn't go back and forth, even in this time. Be flexible in the fact that encouragement may not come from your regularly scheduled programs. You might find yourself in places and seats that you've never sat before. You might find that crazy questions come and then you get a nugget that will change the course of your entire week. But if you're not ready for it, if you didn't clear the way, then it gets muddled and you lose the encouragement, you lose the direction, you lose the strategy. I got to give a shout out to my son Joshua, who's probably talked to me about 3 times, and I ain't gonna put all his business on blast, but he's about to do a thing. And so who does he come to? Well, he sees me as the wisest person that he knows. So he's coming here and he gives me the warning, listen, I'm gonna call you 3 more times this week. That means he's already cleared the runway so that I know what it is that he needs as he goes forward with his business venture. He knows where to come. Many of you have folks who are in your corner. Make sure you stay connected. Make sure you clear the way. Set the schedule. Say, listen, I need 15 minutes of your time so we could talk through strategy. I need 10 minutes of your time so you could pour into me. Whether you're getting twisted, threaded through Unhinged Radio Show Live, or you coming on the wayside and saying, I need my personal time. Make sure you stay connected and clear the way for what? That great takeoff that's about to come. Y'all know I'm here for the cake. So let's make sure that we are moving every obstacle out of the way before it comes. That's what it is. That's your reflection of purpose today.
That's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. Thank you so much, Karen. We get ready to wrap things on up. Any last words y'all want to offer to the audience, ladies? Any last words? Nothing? Going once, going twice? Okay. Y'all already know what it is. I'm going to encourage you once again to just be. But here it is. Tonight, I'm just going to encourage you to just be your authentic self. That's right. Again, at the top of the show, if you late, gonna rewind that back. Donnell said something extremely powerful to us as she shared, don't shrink back. So that's where my thought tonight is coming from. Just your authentic self. You know why? Because your authentic self is more than enough. Whether you're showing up in the boardroom, the break room, the grocery store, or on your face at the altar in your local faith community, just be yourself. Because guess what? Coupled with your faith in God, yourself is all you really ever need. It's your girl, Tilted Halo, with the Unhinged Radio Show Live. Thank you again for tuning in. Hey, to all of our replay viewers. I guess, ladies, it's a wrap. We'll see you next week. Later.